farmers, welcome back to Goldcrest Valley. Just finishing up picking up the rest of the grass that remains. Already have a 500,000 liters into the silo bunker, and we should be right around the 550,000 like we always are. And the grass that's already in the bunker is 100% compacted, but in a second here I'll have to compact it just more, because the more you put in, the more you got to compact it. Shouldn't take us too long. The weird thing is, well, maybe not that weird to some of you, but I actually got stuck a couple times in this tractor, and whenever I used the 8230, I didn't get stuck as much. Could be because I think I was getting stuck on the front end. The weight was nosing down once in a while, so if I didn't spread out the grass evenly, yeah, if I had like a little bump in front of me, that was getting caught up on the grass, which seems kind of weird in a sense. In real life, probably wouldn't happen, but in Farming Simulator, yeah, the 9RT was having trouble pushing through the grass in the silo bunker a couple times. Am I going to get... Yeah, I should be able to get 50,000 liters in this, and then the remainder of whatever it is. So just about the same as we always get, which I was expecting a little bit more, only because these fields were fully limed and fully fertilized, so I was thinking a little bit more than 560. But it looks like we're going to be right around 550. Have to come back, get a little bit more, I think. Yeah, there's the 50,000, so yeah, we're in the ballpark, so that's good enough for me, I guess. Let's go dump this on in. Shouldn't get stuck on anything, because I've been trying to make sure it's flat enough up here so I don't get hung up on anything. And then we're going to go and mulch the clover and alfalfa fields. And then we're going to actually start doing some weeding. All the fields, of course, don't have weeds into them. I got the 2 fields I've planted today. They're not grown yet, so we'll have to wait until next month to do them. But we'll get some of the weeding done today. Put that on down. So it looks like we're in the pretty much same conversation with the weight for buying as we are with the front end loader that we did for the Massey Ferguson, as to, yeah, just go ahead and buy the weight. You're not going to really see one on the sale item page, so if I need one, I'll go ahead and buy one, but right now, don't need one currently, so I think we're good in that part. But if I need one in the future, well, let's go ahead and buy one. But as for everything else, will remain the same as for waiting for it to come up for sale. I got to pick up a little bit of the extra that has tipped out of the bunker here. So I was looking on the mod hub for direct drills that are at least about 12 meters wide on the mod hub, and couldn't really find any to my interest. I just want to get more in the store so I get more of a chance of one to come up for sale. But right now, we'll just keep it as is. I'll do a little bit more searching in between. I've been rather busy getting the new series, which started yesterday on Oceanside for us, so go have a gander at that if you happen to miss it. We have finished Hinterland, and that's taken its place. Alright, let's go ahead and dump this off if I don't get stuck. And we'll bring up the HUD so I know when I'm 100% compacted. Which I should be by the time I get to the end, right? 99. Come on, 100. 100. And I'm going to get stuck. Kind of do the all detach, attach trick. Sometimes that works. It's actually the forage wagon that's stuck up there. Oop, almost got it at that time. There we go, we're 100%, so I don't get more spilling out. Let's go ahead and cover that up. Got a little bit here that didn't get covered. And at the other end, I think we got a little bit on the edges that I can't really get to. But we're only talking, not even 100 liters, I don't think. Gonna leave the forage wagon down here because this will be fermented 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the month of May. And we're going to go ahead and sell the silage as soon as we can, because the price keeps on dropping all the way till June/July. Do I want to leave the 9RT here? 8230 is down here as well. We'll see which one I want to use. But let's go ahead and teleport to the Massey Ferguson. That should be all set to go with a mulcher. I do believe this can run the mulcher. I forgot how much horsepower is required. But we got to mulch the clover and alfalfa so it can start regrowing again. So this should take not that long at all. Try to stay out of my crop if I can help it. There we go. I'm glad someone told me about this the first year that I did the alfalfa and clover, that we have to mulch it for it to regrow, because I would have been waiting there thinking, why isn't this regrowing? It says it can regrow. Because I just treat it like grass, and we don't have to mulch grass to get that to regrow. And now with the front end loader on the Massey Ferguson, it's going to make moving the eggs around easier. Well, everything easier. We'll keep the forklift around. I'll just be up here for now. And that way, if the Massey Ferguson is not up here and the sheep need to be fed, we can use the forklift to feed the sheep. And if I ever get the forklift on down to the store, well, probably will sell it. Not going to get a whole lot for it. I think we only paid like $8 grand for it, maybe? Or was it 20? I forgot what it was. And at the time, since we didn't have any way to lift up the pallets or feed the animals, that was the way to go. So I'm kind of hoping, I think I mentioned last episode, but I'm kind of hoping that the Avatar comes up for sale. The one that we leased and used. Kind of like what we did with this mulcher, because we leased this mulcher and then the next month it was for sale. So, I mean, it does happen. Does it happen with the items that we want? That is the question. So I've still got it in my mind what to do with the money. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is just wait until fall and see what happens. And if nothing comes up for sale, then maybe we'll just go ahead and buy the BGA. Because that will still leave us, well, if we have, we're going to have more money than we have now. But the BGA is 225 or 250. So that's still going to leave me a good chunk of change. So if anything comes up for sale during the wintertime, we can go ahead and buy that. And if nothing comes up for sale in the wintertime, then in the springtime, maybe we'll buy the power plant. And by then, the BGA will have processed some cow manure, and of course all the silage that we keep bringing to it, and then we'll have to find a way to transport the methane over to the power plant. We did have a tanker come up for sale a long time ago, and I thought about it. I'm like, well, I really don't need it now, and back then I really needed the money for other things. If that tanker ever comes up for sale again, we'll definitely be, going ahead and purchasing it. If not, it's not that big of a deal, because I can always lease the tanker and just transport the methane in one day from the BGA to the power plant. No big deal there. And we already own a flatbed trailer to put down anything on it that we need. So like the transformer oil, I think it's called, which we'll need for the power plant. We can put that in the flatbed. And as for the cows, I may go ahead and get some more cows again. Maybe like another 10. Some young ones, maybe. So we can get more manure. Now that we're piling up on the hay a little bit. Although I think the 2 fields that we got of clover and alfalfa are not going to be big enough for our future needs here in the farm. So that's why when we harvest the, I think it's barley in front of us, when we harvest the barley this year, we'll come in and we'll plant the rest of the field the same crop, which is clover. And that way we'll have many more hay bales next year. Rather dusty when you cultivate, or sorry, mulch the clover. Just glad the Massey Ferguson can handle this. Now, the one thing we also might be doing here is I could be trading in the 8230 in the future. So if another tractor comes up for sale that's got a little bit more horsepower, I may trade in the 8230 just because, well, we don't really need a tractor with a lot of horsepower. Ideally, a JCB would be nice just because transporting the grain around to sell it. Or even a Deutz-Fahr. I think Deutz-Fahrs have a good gear into it to reach a nice top speed. Plus, the 8230 does have a good amount of hours on it for farming simulator terms. I think we're getting near 60 hours on that tractor, which means it just breaks down faster and faster and faster. Doesn't get any better. But if that time does come, that 8230 has been very good for us here on the farm. We got that like the first winter that we were here, and it's done a lot of work. Now the 9RT is taking over that job of doing the bulk of work. Alright, one field done. Lift it on up, and let's go get the alfalfa field done. Then we can drop this off, go to the farm. I'll put the narrow tires on this, and then we'll start weed spraying. I feel like this is a community that if I were to put little flags around here with some holes that some golfers would come and practice their putting on it, because it looks like almost a putter's dream for how smooth this this grass field, if you want to call it, is. One more pass. I think this gets rid of swaths as well. So I'm going to come over here. Yes, it does get rid of swaths. We'll get rid of that right there. That was piled up. And then if I check the growing seasons, I can actually see probably when this will start growing. I didn't really check on it last year. I just thought if it was going to be like grass, it may start growing right away. Let me go into here. Alfalfa and clover. Well, it kind of shows that it grows every month except for November, December, January, February. But we shall see. I think it takes us a little bit longer before it actually does grow. At least it did last year. Alright, so this is going to go back up to the chicken shed, I guess we'll call it. And then we'll scooch on down to the farm, swap out these wide wheels with weights on them for narrow tires. I just saw the train go by, so we should be all set. And we'll grab our Kubota sprayer. Maybe I'll just top it off with herbicide. I probably have enough that's already in there, but yeah, might as well top it off now, today, I guess. And we'll go around and start knocking off at least a few fields. I think I'll leave the big field, the one, I guess, right over there, the one we merged, two fields we merged together. I'll leave that for, like, Frank or someone like that to do tomorrow. Yeah, I did get the baler up here. Oh, my fertilizer spreader's up here. That needs to go back to the farm. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that up here because... Well, actually, how much is left in there? I need to fertilize all the grass fields. Yeah, I just better take this with me just because... That way I know where it is. I didn't know it was actually up here. Yeah, when I put this shed down up here, a couple things. Kind of really had it facing the wrong way because when it rains, the water goes towards the sheep. Should have been facing the other way, plus it would have given me a higher height to back things in. And I put it rather close to the sheep pen. So it's kind of hard to angle myself in there, but we get it done. Actually, you know what? This is, I was going to fertilize it now, but I might as well wait until I replant this whole field in the fall. So then I'm going to have to fertilize that. Well, I'll be fertilized. I'm overthinking everything. Let's just go get the weed sprayer, and we'll start spraying some weeds. Alright, got that dropped off. Might as well go ahead and put the narrow tires on it now. And I think I may have to change brand of tires that we're on. I think that was my problem maybe last time. Customize. Let's see here. Wide tires. Rear tire twin. Nope, narrow tires right there. Are those the ones? I think so. Narrow tires. Customize. And there goes my front loader. I will say the narrow tires that we have on here, they don't look that bad for this tractor. They're not like extremely narrow, and it's not like the fenders on the Massey Ferguson are so wide that when you put narrows on, that they look extremely small. So it kind of blends in well. Oh, okay, so we almost got enough for it. Yeah, it's almost full. So let's leave it as is. Technically, I did not need the narrow tires because we planted... everything that we're spraying, we planted last month. So the crops are in the first growth stage. So we're not going to harm them with any type of tire that we go into the field with. But we put narrows on just because. And there's going to be no weeds where we plowed a field. So the additional fields that we put in, there won't be any weeds there, but there will be weeds everywhere else. So we'll knock off the 2 fields that are here, which used to be 3, and then we'll go over and take care of the one by the sheep. And then I think we'll leave the big field and the one over by the cow barn. We'll get those next month, because the one over by the cow barn we just planted today, so no weeds have grown yet. But I don't know with the See and Spot sprayer. If I go over there and spray, there's no weeds to spray. So it's not like without precision farming, if I went over there and sprayed, the weeds wouldn't grow. I don't know about precision farming, what would happen. I think weeds would still grow. And I think this is the widest See and Spot sprayer that we could get. It's really good working width. I was looking at, when I was setting up Oceanside Forest, I was looking at some tractors for See and Spot spraying. And I really couldn't find any on the mod hub itself. Now, I'm pretty sure there's modded ones out there somewhere that will do See and Spot spraying. But even if I did, those are expensive. Actually, I think I got the Jatco on Hinterland. I think that one will do See and Spot spraying, but I don't have it active here. But this works out just fine. I don't think we need something that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to do the same thing that this can do, and we bought this for like 20. Now this field, even though we didn't, made it a lot bigger by the addition and combining it together, it just made it a weird shaped field. So I noticed when I was drilling it, I was like, I got to find a pattern that works out for me here for this field. And I thought, well, maybe if I get course play to figure out a course, then I can just follow its pattern, and maybe that's the best way to go about it. Or just wing it every time I do it, and eventually you find a pattern that you like. I do tend to pick, maps with sort of square fields. Or when I play on maps that don't have fields like Hinterland or No Man's Land, I tend to make fields kind of rectangular or square, or in that case, whatever. Yeah, so See and Spot spraying definitely save money on herbicide. And this is the best way to go to get your scoring up for weed control. Which I would have thought when precision farming came out, I would have thought the weed pullers would do better for scoring, but no, See and Spot spraying is top-notch score for weeds.
You were my best friend, didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep in your worn-out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep.
Thought it'd be better if I actually lowered the implement itself so it's closer to the crop, so it's getting directly more onto it. Especially if it's windy out, you don't want your boom stick too far above the crop because then it's not spraying where it needs to be because the wind's blowing the liquid about. Not that it really matters on Farming Simulator, but you know what? Try to do as much realism as I can once in a while. And as you can see, we've hardly used that much herbicide in the first few fields. I think this is, yeah, I think this is barley we put here. Yeah, it is barley. And good rotation on it and everything. We got 131% out of 125. Although I think this year we didn't really have a perfect rotation anywhere. I think this was 105% in this field. I didn't look. Probably just said so on the screen when I had it up there, but hinterland was getting kind of difficult to do the rotation with all the root crops I was doing. And as I found out, oilseed, planting that in crop rotation does nothing. Does absolutely nothing for you. I was kind of thinking, being a cover crop the way oilseed is, I thought it was going to be like a fallow field, if you will, but it ended up being no help to us whatsoever, other than giving us a little bit of fertilizer. So it's kind of weird that they got a See and Spot sprayer, but there's no such thing as like a See and Spot fertilizer sprayer. I mean, maybe there is. Alright, this will take care of the weeds for today. And it won't take us too long, or the workers too long, to get the other fields done in the month of May. Gonna bring this up here. Let me just double check on the animals. I know the sheep need water, but I'm just checking for food purposes. The cows, yeah, they're doing just fine. Yeah, I would like to see it change a little bit. Like if I'm only giving them hay, which is 80%, you think their productivity would be at 80%, but they're at 100%. So that, you know, that's all fine. So 3 months, 7 months, 30 months. Well, I just got a range of cows in there, don't we? Sheep. Oh, we got to move the wool around. They got good. They're good on food, and the chickens are good. Yeah, let's go move the wool around, which I thought I did that, but it might have been the day before. Oh, April. I should be selling... Ooh, yeah, April. The wool. Bale sell point. The price is going down. I need to sell that now. Okay. I really forgot about that. I was getting so used on Hinterland to where, you know, we weren't selling it. It was pretty much, you know, bring it to the spinnery. Oh, I was like, okay, you know why? You want to know why it's not working? Because you don't have it on the front implement. All right, we'll take these 3 here first, I guess. Well, here comes the nice little 20,000 plus, and I can go right across the field because we do got narrow tires on it. Not going to hurt nothing. And the bale sell point's right here. That's really convenient for us. Let's see, that train just came through. Yep. Those trains are pretty much in sequence. So if you see one, the other one is not far here at this crossing, I tend to find. This is called the bale sell point, right? Wait, where are we? We're over here. Bale sell point. And what this one's called what? Oh, this is called the straw barn. All right. Yeah, this definitely beats using the forklift that we had. The forklift seemed to get caught on these railroad track crossings once in a while. Well, how about if we actually raise up the sprayer so it's not dragging on the ground? Well, this will get us back over 400,000. Oh, I was trying to get 4, but I didn't think I was going to get those 4. Picking it up that way, but it works. And who says I need to wait? Look at that. We got the sprayer on the back that does the same job, basically. Those sheep are starting to really pay off for us now. Did the other one just go by? Not yet. Whoop, there it is. Okay, I didn't quite get caught by the train. So, looks like the train, if you look at the map, the one that we just got clipped by, that one's just a little bit slower than the other one. Because I think the last time that one crossed first, then the one on the left side of the map came through. So when I saw the one on the left side of the map go through, I figured the one on the right has already gone through. Did not. I knew it was going to get clipped really good by a train a couple times here. Just a matter of when. Alright, pallet forks. I want to grab this one here if I can. That leaves 6 more. Yeah, we're not going to be buying the spinnery here. I'm trying to cut back on production buildings. So just about $56, almost $5,700 for 4 pallets. So there's the one on the left side of the map, and where's the one? It's almost like 10, 15 seconds a longer trip around. Okay, maybe even more than that. Well, I thought they were in sequence, so forget what I said the first time. Because the second time proved me wrong because I got hit by the train. Now the third time, there it is. It's almost like 30 seconds longer on our trip than the other one. Last 3 pallets. And then I can zip through to the evening hours, give the sheep their water, and we can get over to the month of May. So, I will see you in the evening hours. We'll check on the store and call it a night. Call it a month. Watch out for the trains. Getting close to 9 o'clock in the evening, I just checked on the store myself, and we have a disc harrow, and we have ourselves a header, and of course we have a corn header and a baling trailer that's been in there since last month, I think. So, nothing that we're looking for. Let's go ahead and sleep until 8 o'clock in the morning. See what the weather brings. See what the store brings. But we know we got weeding to do. Rain is in the forecast. What time is the rain going to be here? Yeah, not until noon. That is interesting. And that is a direct drill planter. And wait, that only requires 150 horsepower? How wide is that? 9.1 meter. Yeah, we're looking for that for sure. That is a direct, no previous cultivating or plowing necessary. So this will allow us to go ahead and start planting sunflower and corn. We can already plant soybean, sugar beet, and cotton. Root crops are, well, like, you know, not too interested. But the sunflower and corn are pretty good. Wait, does that fertilize as well? Yes, it does. Liquid fertilizer. Okay. I mean, 9.1 is not a bad working width. I mean, it's bigger than the 6 meter wide that we got now. Wait, can I make this wing option? All right, don't need that. Numbers. Hydraulic oil cooler. It adds $8,000 to the price tag, but what does that actually do for us? Anything? I mean, it'll cool the hydraulics, I get it, but yeah. Bulk fill scales. Again, I don't know if that's just adding a scale meter so we can see how much is in there for another 7,000. Supplement buckets, that's a decorative piece. Rear attacher. I'm trying to figure out what I would attach to the rear of this to help me out in the field. I guess, I don't know. A hopper and or tanks. Bulk fill. That adds 10,000 to it. So is that might be for liquid fertilizer. For 10,000, I'll get it. I mean, we got the money in a sense. Wow, it adds $36,000 if I wanted to do tracks over the tires. I think we'll stick to the tires. Yeah, this could be an expensive thing after all. So, yeah, $77,000. Let's go ahead and buy that. Okay, was not expecting a direct drill planter in the store in the morning. But that's all good. So, that just leaves us to get to work on spraying the rest of the fields and then waiting until 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go ahead and sell, if I can get into the Massey Ferguson, sell the silage that we'll have. And that would usually bring us in about 100,000, as we know. Let me back up here. And we'll grab this. And of course, I do have to fertilize the grass fields, alfalfa, and clover fields at some point. So, spraying is not going to take me too long to do. Or I should say, it shouldn't take Frank too long to do. I may have them do the job. And then I can go around. Well, the only other tractor I would use to fertilize, I guess, would be the 8230. I don't think it uses the 9R, the 9RT. Fertilizing with that would be just a little bit overkill. So I'll probably go ahead and get the weeding done. Besides, this field here is not too much oddly shaped, except for this little kick out that we have here. Yeah, this ain't gonna really take me too long anyways. I mean, it's a big field, but it's a big implement. I think it's 40, might be a 42 meter wide. And I definitely would need the row crop tires for this field, because now this wheat, I think it is in the second growth stage, so I would be damaging the crops if I were to come in here with anything but narrow tires. Apparently that was not a weed, that might be a flower. Technically not in the field, I guess. Not a lot of weeds in the field on this side. Let me get this little kick out done, and then I may just hire a worker to go up and down the field. In the meantime, we'll have to I want to go up and take a look at this planter. I mean, technically, I probably should be able to still plant corn, but we don't have any more fields either. So, I would have to buy a field if I want to use a planter today. But I think, unfortunately, we just bought it today, and it'll be a year before I use it at all. So I don't think there's any crops that the planter can do that I would do in the fall. I think all fall crops are cereal crops. This field here doesn't seem to be growing as many weeds as the fields up by the farm, which is rather interesting. I did just also have a look at our stock market page, if you will, because I was thinking, I almost missed the wool. That would have been kind of bad. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, I got soybeans that sell, late spring, early summer, and according to the price chart now, it looks like July is the time to sell soybeans. So I'll have to remember that in a couple months. But I think I'll be getting the rest of the fields weeded in between episodes, which won't take me too long. And I'll probably fast forward to the day and start selling the silage. We know how that process goes. It's going to be about 11 plus trips. 11 and a little bit extra. I can kind of see, we'll have a quick look to see how much roughly I would get. Just remember the price that we're seeing that, is showing that we will get, does not include our bonus score. Let me just finish up the first row around this field. But yeah, I wasn't even thinking about a planter coming up for sale. But I'm excited about that because that allows us 2 more crops to put into the rotation and to harvest when it comes time to. Let's turn that off here. Let's see, silage. Where's my... Oh, it's not going to show here because it's not silage yet. So I can just pretty much show you what the price is for silage. And let's see here. Bale sale point 160, biogas plant 164. So yeah, we're going to be selling the silage. I'm not going to buy the biogas plant now. Like I said, probably maybe not until fall if I got the money for it. So yeah, we got $550,000. So 550,000 liters. So if you want to do the math, yeah, you can kind of figure out what we should get. Plus our bonus score, I think it's 14%. So you can kind of calculate what we're going to get. But usually it's right around $100,000 anyways. That's what we should be getting. I want to teleport to... Well, not that one, but we'll teleport to here. I'll use the 8230 to go ahead and transport the silage later on. It's going to take another 6 hours, I think. You can see our soybean fields got weeds in it as well. So, well, yeah, next episode will be selling the silage, fertilizing the grass fields, alfalfa and clover, and then, yeah, kind of skip through the months here until it's harvest time because I really don't have much else to do. That planter is actually bigger than I thought it would be. So now we can plant corn and sunflowers when we like. And if I really like to, sugar beet and cotton, but probably will stay away from those just because we can't lease anything. Oh, sorry, yeah, we can lease something, but I don't want to spend that much on a cotton module harvester. At least not yet, anyways. Maybe further on down the road. That's for darn sure. Let's see, there's no kind of cars around me. Let me go ahead and unfold this thing, just to see the width of it. I mean, we know it's 9.5 meters, but let's get a better... Probably shouldn't be doing it while I'm doing about 24 miles an hour down Main Street here. let me get over in these two lanes here. Yeah, that's actually a decent working width. But I'm surprised at the horsepower requirement for this, being a direct drill and 9.5 meters. It was only requiring like 150 horsepower, which means my Massey Ferguson would be able to haul this around if I wanted it to. But at least I know the John Deere should be able to handle it no problem. It's 248 or 243 or whatever it is. Well, that's a nice little pickup for about $80,000. Not too bad. Just have to wait a year before I can use it. But anyways, that's going to do for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Goldcrest Valley. But until then, have a good one.